for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have the citizens recognition tonight by Sara Gullion, and we'd like to ask for a moment of silence, please, to begin with. Thank you.
Well, as you're probably aware, 2026 is an election year. We've got primaries coming up on May 5th and a general election on November 6th. And in the spirit of tonight's Citizen Award winner, remember that you have until 11:59 tonight to register to vote. You can go to indianavoters.in.gov to do so. And even if you're certain that you've registered, you can make sure to verify before then that they've not been removed. So tonight, I'm honoring the League of Women Voters of Muncie, Delaware County. The League is a nonpartisan grassroots organization working to protect and expand voting rights and ensure everyone is represented in our democracy. They empower voters and defend democracy through advocacy, education, and litigation at the local, state, and national levels. Now, they do accept any gender, not just women. That change happened a while ago. Which is why they're now branded more as LWE. They never support or oppose political parties or candidates. Instead, they take positions on issues that affect voters. Positions that may align with the party or candidate at times and refer to others. Their focus is always on policies and measures that serve the public interest. The National League was founded in Chicago in February of 1920, just 6 months before the 19th Amendment was ratified and women must vote. The amendment had to be ratified by the states, and the League mobilized to help make that happen. And it did happen on August 26th that same year. Muncie began its branch in 1957 and was officially chartered in May of 1958. The League of Women Voters has 2 separate and distinct roles: voter service and citizen education. They present unbiased, nonpartisan information about elections, the voting process, and issues. And also action advocacy. They are nonpartisan, but after they study an issue, they use their positions to advocate for or against particular policies in the public interest. To conduct their voter service and citizen education activities, they use funds from the League of Women Voters of Indiana, and then the League of Women Voters of Muncie, Delaware County is a membership organization. They conduct the action and advocacy efforts. Their principal goals are to build citizen participation in the democratic process, study key community issues at all governmental levels in an unbiased manner, and enable people to seek positive solutions to public policy issues through education and conflict management. The Muncie Delaware County League is also proud to say that their very own spokesperson, Linda Hansen, is also currently the Indiana State League's president.
Wow.
So I want to thank our local league for all they do to engage and educate voters in our city. Linda Hansen would come up. She's going to accept this award on behalf of the LG.
As Sara said, we are nonpartisan. We want to get information out to all voters because for over a century we've been working for voters' rights to make sure that everyone has a voice in our democracy. We're excited this year to be actually working to get information out to everyone about our vote centers, brand new as of last September, and back on one of the chairs, there are flyers. You can pick these up. You can you would prefer, we also have a bit more information about the centers on this card. And if you want something in your wallet for that emergency on election day, find the closest vote center. The QR code or the interactive map on the clerk's website is on the Gullion Park Association, on the news website, and those QR codes are. So on behalf of the league, I am really pleased to accept this award, and thank you so much for working on it.
Christmas tree.
Next month will be Jerry Dishman for citizen recognition. Roll call, please.
Dishman,
Present.
Selvey,
Present.
McIntosh,
Present.
Green,
Present.
Powell,
Here.
Garrett,
Here.
Gullion,
Here.
Basham,
Here.
Mason.
Here.
Thank you. Would like to make a comment at the beginning of the meeting in regards to the Muncie Central drum line. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, they placed second in state competition. So they were the runner-up. So we appreciate what they did. Great job for those young people. Okay. Approval of minutes. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I so move.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Garrett,
Yes.
Dishman,
Yes.
Basham,
Yes.
McIntosh,
Yes.
Gullion,
Yes.
Selvey,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Mason,
Yes.
Green.
Yes. Appointments to boards and commissions. We have Beech Grove Cemetery, but we need to pass the ordinance first before we do the two positions that are there. So are there any committee reports? Okay, we'll move on to ordinance previously introduced.
Ordinance 7-26, an ordinance of the City of Muncie amending Chapter 93 of the City of Muncie Code of Ordinances.
Have a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second that.
any discussion? Comments from the public? Yeah. Roll call.
Basham,
Yes.
McIntosh,
Yes.
Selvey,
Yes.
Mason,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Dishman,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Gullion,
Yes.
President Green.
Yes. We have been asked to postpone the appointment of this two positions on the Beech Grove Cemetery Board. They have enough at the moment, but we were asked to wait until next month for those individuals to give the council plenty of time to come up with individuals that want to do that. Okay, so that takes us to new ordinances.
Ordinance 8-26, an ordinance prohibiting the use of documents received from public records requests for commercial purposes.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
Um,
Basham.
may I indulge for just a second? Jagan, would you mind going to the microphone and if you would give us a legal summary and assessment of what this ordinance looks like to you?
Do we need to?
The ordinance itself it mimics the Indiana statute. There's also an Indiana Administrative Code. It's the exact same. Essentially, it stops commercial entities from selling data that they're getting, public information. It's a state statute. Like I said, it's an administrative code. My issue that I have with the ordinance that I expressed to a few of you is the 10-year restriction at the end of it. That's not in the code, that's not in the administrative laws in Indiana. So that jumped out to me potentially as arbitrary, and whenever you're dealing with a potential First Amendment issue, you don't want the word arbitrary to jump out. So that's the 10-year really my only issue. It's the state statute.
Okay, thank you. In lieu of that, Mr. President, I'd like to withdraw ordinance 826 until this issue is resolved to your satisfaction, Mr. Arnold. Thank you.
Mr. Arnold. Brings us to resolution 5-26.
Resolution 5-26, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Muncie, Indiana, updating appointments to the Muncie Human Rights Commission.
We have a motion to adopt.
I'd like to make that motion.
We have a second.
I second.
Okay. We have those wishing to speak on this resolution.
Excuse me, Gretchen Cheeseman. I am a member of the Muncie Human Rights Commission. And this is Shaquille Buster. She is our new Human Rights Commission Executive Director.
Hi.
We started taking a look at our appointments, and we discovered that the mayor terms of 3 years. The mayor appoints 2 members, and the council appoints 1 for 3 years. And we got to looking at who was appointed by whom when. We went back through all the old council minutes.
Mhm.
And we came up with some council appointments, some mayoral appointments that were filled by the council. And so we now have 4 members that expire in 26, 4 members that expire in 27, and only 1 member that expires in 28. So we'd like to get back to the, everybody has a 3-year term with 2 by the council and 1 by the mayor. And we discussed it in our meeting and came up with what's in this Exhibit 1 in the resolution, which changes Linda Muckway's term. It revises it to January 1st, 25 through May 31st, 28. So it's a 3-year term, and it's especially now that all the terms have to be listed on the agendas. I think it made everybody sort a lot of things out. So this is our turn today. So we'll change Linda Muckway's term, and she is a council appointment. And then Stephen Nipp's term, his term is vacant. It would go from a council appointment to a mayoral appointment, and it would be 6/1/25 through 5/31/28. That's currently a vacant seat. He is not appointed somebody to fill that. So that gets us back to 2 mayor and 1 council every 3 years.
Stack.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for sorting that out.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Mr. President, may I ask?
Yes.
a question? Gretchen, if you would, did I hear that you had, that you were working, or you had a team of people who were working perhaps across the spectrum of boards to justify these terms throughout the city board system?
We had an intern in the mayor's office last spring, and we went through all the board and commissions. We worked with Lacey and the city clerk, and they verified all of that everybody has the certificates and all the paperwork that they need. She looked at all of the ordinances and who appoints whom, and tried to figure out who had been appointed by whom. And I think now they've got it set up so that they can all share a file and work off of the same file, and everyone's not doing their own, set of spreadsheets.
Good.
And,
Awesome.
I think it's been helpful.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah,
Mr.
thank you.
President,
Thank you.
Yes.
is that something that can be shared so that we can keep up with that also? Because I know it's been tough. We're all trying to keep
Yeah.
up with it.
Yeah.
We can download a version of it, but it would be as of that date.
Okay.
So of course,
Sure.
I'm updating it as you guys make appointments.
Mhm.
The mayor's
Mhm.
office is updating it as the mayor makes his appointments.
Yeah.
So
Good.
we work in the same spreadsheet alongside each other, so that way.
So it's a
they
shared
have what we
document.
had, we have what
Okay.
they
Okay,
have, and
yeah.
that's-
So it's a shared document and we can all be added on that then?
We can check with IT or.
Yeah,
just
they
you
can add
guys
our, access.
permit
Okay,
of it,
thank you.
whatever it's- whatever you want.
That would be good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and so these terms for Human Rights Commission expire May 31st. So the appointments, and we've got, there are several terms expiring. So Leah Britton is mayoral and Melvin Kelly are mayoral. Leah is not, is asked not to be reappointed. Andre Mitchell, who has served as our president, he is the council representative. He's asked to not be reappointed. So there is one for the council. And then we're changing this. Linda Muckway went over. So you guys will have one appointment to make.
In May.
In May.
Okay.
Before starting the term in June.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I, for one, appreciate this work that you've done, and not just for your commission, but for all of the boards and commissions. It really sets the ship straight. Thank you.
It was a big confusing mess. So you're welcome.
Thank
And I
you.
gotta give the intern, what her name is, Mariah, I have to give her credit for it because she really did all the work.
Good.
Fantastic.
It got really
Thank you, Mariah.
confusing when it came to boards that have appointments by the county and the council.
Yeah.
and the
Mhm.
mayor, and, we know what we have on the city end, but we don't know what the county has or what the county council has. So it's probably still a work in progress.
Just,
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Lacey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions from council? Any questions from the audience? Mr. Skate. Everyone coming up, ask question.
You don't need to time these. Are we being timed?
I just have a quick comment.
Okay.
So I served on the Human Rights Commission board before, and I know there's a lot of things that we discussed there that dealing with the city, a lot of complaints dealing with the city. Sometimes there are things discussed in executive session. So I just want to say that I think it's a conflict of interest for a department head to be serving on this board, because there are things that can't be discussed with the city. And I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that things are discussed on the Human Rights Commission, that department head that's given the job by the mayor will not go back and discuss certain things. So I think that's a conflict of interest. And the way they treated the last director of the Human Rights Commission, I was there, I saw it, and I saw how they ousted her at the last minute. I think that was unfair, but the conflict of interest that's taking place with the community development director serving on that board, I think that needs to be looked into, because I don't think it's right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Anyone else with comment, question?
Anybody think?
Okay. Seeing none, hearing none?
Well, I too have some concerns about that. If there becomes an issue in her office, how would that be handled? As far as a complaint with the human rights, with her sitting on the board?
Is your question if there was a complaint against me?
Yes,
Yes.
In my official capacity as community development director?
or a complaint,
addressed?
a complaint period.
I presume it would be addressed like any other complaint.
Thank you, Caleb.
Working
Yeah.
now.
Gotta be on it.
There we go.
I guess what I would say, if there was a complaint against me, I'd have to recuse myself and not participate in it.
Mr. President.
Yes.
But would you have access to those minutes of that discussion?
Yeah. Yeah, as a board member.
As a board member, I would,
Do you?
but
feel
I mean,
that-
there would be an investigation and.
Agreed. Do you feel that you having access to those minutes and being privy to that conversation might be a impediment to that employee discussing their concerns openly?
An employee of mine,
Any employee, do you feel that a City of Muncie employee might be hesitant to discuss their issues against any department head, actually, not just your department, if they knew that another department head had access to that conversation? Do you feel it might make them fear retribution of any kind? And I'm not saying, I'm talking about the employees' feelings, not necessarily what your actions would be. Do you think that would become an obstacle for our employees speaking freely about what they consider a violation of their employees' rights or their human rights? Do you feel that it might be a
well,
problem?
I've been on the board for about a year
Mm-hmm.
and we've had, the employees don't come, the complainants don't come
Right.
to the board meeting and talk to the board members. They talk to the director and the director does an investigation and then comes back
Okay.
to the board. So
So you
I
don't,
would assume that if there was some kind of a conflict, the city attorney who attends our meetings would point that out and I would recuse myself
thank you.
however I
Okay.
needed to.
Ms. Cheeseman, when I was on the board of on the Human Rights Board, we had different committees that would investigate different, we had,
Kinds of
do you guys
complaints.
still have that or did you change the procedures? So
Um,
not everybody's involved?
I have not seen that happen since I've been on the board.
Because
So
we
I'm
had
going
like
to say
little,
no
yeah.
because, and we're kind of starting from scratch with Shaquila.
Yes, but I do agree, the complaints go to the director and the director does the investigation. And I do believe you have the right to form a little committee to help you through the process.
Agreed.
So it doesn't have to be the whole board and it's probably best not to be,
Agreed.
so that's how we used to do that in the past. So, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing and hearing none then, roll call, please.
Garrett,
Yes.
Basham,
Yes.
Dishman,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Mason,
Yeah.
Selvey,
Yes.
McIntosh,
Yes.
Gullion,
Yes.
Green.
Yes. Moving on, resolution 626.
Resolution 6-26, a resolution authorizing Mayor Dan Ridenour to apply for community development block grants and home investment partnership program grant funds from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development HUD.
Have a motion to adopt.
Make a
Resolution
motion to adopt.
626. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Questions from council? Questions from anyone wishing to speak? That can go.
Gretchen Cheeseman, Director of Community Development. So this is our annual resolution that gives the mayor permission to apply for the community development block grant and the home investment partnership program. We got our allocations today. So I'm going to have to ask you to make a minor change to the resolution. Down there, like about 3 or 4 lines from the bottom, it has the annual allocation. That is based on the 2025 number. And so I need to ask you to change the home allocation to $471,998.35, which is the green box on the paper I gave you. And the community development block grant allocation to $1,229,825.
Excellent. Excellent.
And this is essentially the same budget that we had last year. And it's, or very close. It's a 7% reduction from last year for home and a 0.99 or just about 1% reduction for CDBG.
Mr. President.
Mr. President,
Yes.
do we need to amend? Do we need to amend this now before we go further, or do we go with this?
It needs to be amended.
Okay. Mr. President, I make a motion that we amend Resolution 426 as articulated by the director.
No, 426. No,
626.
29.
I'm saying 6.
29.
626.
Okay.
626.
Oh,
Well, I'm sorry.
626.
I
Yeah,
forgot to turn my page.
626.
Yes, 626.
We need a second.
Mr. President, could you read those figures again? What they're changing to?
The change on the home budget was $471,998.35, with a reduction roughly at 7%. The CDBG budget would reduce to $1,229,825, a reduction of approximately 1%.
To put those percentages in numbers, the home reduction is $36,763.76, and the CDBG reduction is $12,298.
So we have a motion to
Amend.
change,
Amend.
to amend the amounts on both the home budget and CDBG budget. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay,
Mr. President,
now, yes.
I just wanted to ask, where the funds are going to be spent, or do you have that kind of information?
That's what's on here.
Is it, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
So, I mean, I can
All in.
summarize that. So,
Please.
with the home grant, we have, there's a 10% cap on the amount of money we can spend for admin. Chodo is a community housing development organization, and we can give them up to 5% of our grant for operating funds, which is about 23,600, but we're only going up to 10,000 on that. Chodo Reserve, which means if a Chodo has a project, we're required to put 15% aside for that. So we've added a little bit more to that. So that's $76,315. We have a down payment and closing cost assistance program that we work with Pastone on. Pastone's also a Chodo. Our other Chodo is Eco Rehab. They probably won't be doing any projects this year because they're really heavily involved in the Old West End project with Intend Indiana. So they'll probably be real busy with that. Anyway, that down payment assistance is $45,000. Home buyer development, which is single family homes, is $138,060, and that usually gets added into the Chodo Reserve project. And rental development is $155,623. In the CDBG budget, it has a 20% admin cap, So that's $245,500. Public service is a maximum of 15% of the grant can be spent on that. And we max that out to $184,000 to our 4 agencies that serve the homeless,
Mhm.
which is our action plan says that we're going to be focused on serving the homeless with our public service money. A
Mhm.
Better Way, Muncie Mission, YWCA, and Christian Ministries. Clearance is tearing down blighted houses, and there's a cap on that as well. We've got $225,000 allocated to that. We have a homeowner resource program that assists low-income homeowners with roads and accessibility improvements.
Mhm.
HVAC projects, $225,000. And the remainder of $350,325 is infrastructure projects, so parks, paving, sidewalk. Those-
I think, I didn't know if you passed these out to everyone out here, right?
in the-
Yes.
no,
Okay, that's why I asked the question. So,
no, no, I didn't.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
But if
Agreed.
you want a copy, I'd be happy to provide one. Our action plan is on our community development department webpage. It's out for public comment right now until April 20th. And we have a public hearing at 10 a.m. on Friday to talk about exactly what
Yeah, I do. Ms. Cheeseman, were you expecting I think you guys did a great job with all the resources, you know what I mean, with the cuts. I think you guys did really well. Were you expecting to get less, in your process? Because
don't know.
with the federal fund, yes.
Congress passes a budget.
Yeah.
They put so much money in community development block grant.
Yeah.
And they run it through a formula.
Yeah.
And it trickles down to us.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty good. You have a nice budget considering with all the cuts and stuff. So thank you for a job well done.
Mr. Mason, you had a question?
Yes, on your public service,
Yes.
is there, all of these agencies have been funded?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
now is there,
Our fiscal year does not start until June 1st.
okay,
So last year, we funded A Better Way, Muncie Mission, and the YWCA. Christian Ministries did not apply last year, so, but they are in there and they will all get. the grant.
okay. Now what, if there are other agencies that might want to apply,
Then they, any
for this,
agency that
other
serves the
than-
homeless or addresses causes of homelessness can apply.
well, what about community development? Just community development.
There are ways that something like that could maybe be funded.
Well, that's what the
if you're
office
doing-
is,
if you're doing-
community
if you're doing
development.
a Chodo project in home, but our action plan that we adopted last year for 5 years says that we're concentrating on agencies that serve the homeless.
Yeah, but I think you're cutting out a lot of agencies that may need assistance in accomplishing some of their goals. By funding these same, I'm not saying that they don't need to be funded, but to fund the same agencies year after year, when you got other agencies out here,
Please submit a comment to our action plan.
yes, I will.
Mr. President?
Yes.
And that's what I was going to ask is, can you tell everyone the easiest way to get to that action plan to where they can find it?
It's on the City of Muncie website on the community development page, and it is in the announcement section. There's links to all the documents.
Okay, thanks.
Quick question.
If you have trouble finding them, call us, email us.
Ms. Selvey.
Yeah, Ms. Cheeseman, is there a deadline? So those agencies had to apply for this year. So the agencies that want to apply, what's their deadline for next year?
We publish we do two things. We publish a legal notice that
Okay.
says that we're taking comment comments on our, so next year it'll be our 2027 action plan.
Okay.
That's usually published in December or right at the first of the year.
Okay.
We hold a public hearing and we ask people, we tell, we submit, or we tell people all the different kinds of activities that we can fund
Mhm.
with CDBG and home, and we ask for public comments.
Thank you.
And then the applications are due at the same time. In the legal notice, we notify people that we're taking applications and that, and when they're due and how to apply and find it.
Thank you.
Under the homeowners rehabilitation one, are we making sure that, I mean, I'm pretty sure, but are we making sure that the people that get, when they get that they are getting licensed, that whoever does the work, maybe be HVAC or plumbing or something like that, is licensed through the city and vetted, so we know that the up to code, doing great, we need to be up to par work when we're doing these renovations in their homes? Okay, thank you.
With the roofs, we run those through our office with we have a contract employee that writes the specs and does the inspections and gets the quotes from the contractors. And then we run those contracts through Board of Works.
Okay, good.
And we work with Home Savers on the HVAC projects and other accessibility.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any other questions from council? Any from the audience? Mr. Yasser.
Rick Yasser, newsman and author. Let's put this in context. The budget that the president rolled out the other day is going to kill community development grants throughout this country. That tells me the federal government, who is the same as you, don't care about the poor, don't care about the people. Because I've seen this in the last reconciliation bill where we can't get any money for people. This thing of doing things over and over, I do want to know what happened to a couple $1 million in home or housing money that was for homeless a couple years ago. It was supposed to renovate the old Harrison School and do a couple other projects that I haven't seen. Working with treatment and prevention programs here, we still have a lot of people out here homeless and needing help. And all the affordable housing, market housing being built is outweighing the affordable that needs to be done. But you might want to check with your president because this program is going to be gone if he has any say over it.
Regarding the permanent supportive housing project that Rick's talking about, it's been in the planning stages. It is about ready to go to it's funded with the low income housing tax credit project. Each unit has a Section 8 voucher attached to it. And it is set to close, do the real estate closing and purchase the properties and get the whole project moving. Hopefully at the end of this month. So it's getting real close.
Good job. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, roll call, please.
We need a motion to adopt as amended.
I make a motion to adopt 626 as amended.
Second.
Now we can,
Mason,
Yes.
Dishman,
Yes.
Gullion,
Yes.
Basham,
Yes.
McIntosh,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Selvey,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
President Green.
yes,
9 yes.
Thank you.
thank you very much. There are two table ordinances.
Thank you.
Ordinance 2925. I will not be pulling that off the table.
Thank you.
Resolution 426. Is there any movement on that? No. Okay, that brings us to other business, which is public comment.
Mr. Rick Yancer.
your moment of silence tonight. If you remember, a disabled veteran who was killed, after pointing gun at police in his home last week because of a welfare check, that still is going to burn in my memory, because after half a century, I've seen other police accident shootings that were even worse. But that's something I think we need to remember about what we're doing with law enforcement and how we're doing it. Which brings me to the drone base. I found out today, County Officials signed the licensing agreement with SWAT, the people that provide cameras, speed surveillance, traffic monitoring. They're all over the city. I think they pay the people here, the taxpayers, pay about $50,000 a year. I found out too that SWAT has new software. And if they got your name and your security number from a license, they can get your financial information and other information too. I'd like to see a little bit more oversight in who you let in here, how they're using equipment, and what they're doing to surveil us as people. And as far as taxes, I know you only spend money, you don't necessarily have anything to do with assessment or taxation like the county does. But there's a lot of noise out there about higher taxes, not necessarily spending, but because of reassessment. You need to make more jobs here. Quit spending it money on running government. Do your job and bring people and jobs here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wayne Scaife.
landscape. I want to just comment on resolution 1525 about the community service. So I'll read this, and it says, whereas the community council of the city of Muncie desires to create a committee to study the contingency of building a new community center. So recently I heard that the mayor called a meeting, or took somebody off the board, or canceled the meeting. Is there anywhere in this that the mayor says he's in charge of this thing? Am I missing something? Y'all help me. I mean, y'all signed it. The mayor in charge of this thing. I see there's 7 board members on here, but he tends to think he's making all the calls. And the way I see it, he's just a member like anybody else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I reading this wrong?
Nope, you're correct.
Yes, sir.
So he has no authority to call a meeting, cancel a meeting, or kick anybody off who's been appointed. Am I correct? According to this resolution.
Correct.
According to the resolution.
Okay. Just want to make sure. And Ro, this is why I was not quick on getting an attaboy.
Okay. Yeah.
I have no faith in this whatsoever, because I think after this, me saying this is going to cause him to not want to give that money. So I don't think it's a done deal. I think that money is going to be withdrawn, or I think he's going to find a way to not give it. And just to give y'all some background, you know, the center, the multi that was tore down with the contingency of building a new one. Let us tear down your community center and we'll build you a brand new one, because we need that property. Well, they never gave it to us. 4 years under McShirley, 8 years under Tyler, and now 5 years under Ryder. Now that's 17 years. Nothing. So, and another thing I want to say, that building, I don't know if y'all know this, but back in the 60s, when black people weren't allowed to go to the YMCA downtown, that's the only place they could go. And it was called, back then it was known as the Black YMCA. So that building had history for us. And they tore it down and told us they would build us a new one. And now, 17 years later, we still have nothing. So this playing games with this resolution, I got $500,000 for you guys center, but no, I'm going to be in charge. And I'm gonna tell you, no, it doesn't work like that. So I don't think we're going to get that money. And I think it's a disgrace the way the mayor is doing this. And like I said, we've been hoodwinked, we've been bamboozled I don't believe this is going to happen. But we need, if it happens, we need to keep the cultural integrity that we had in the multi.
Yes.
We definitely need to keep it.
Yeah.
So all
Thank
these other neighborhood associations, I hope that's just the talk about getting it done and not
Yes.
Yes.
coming in, taking over that building
Yes.
when it's completely different.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
comment.
Thank you.
Mr. Green, I'm sorry, President Green.
Yes, you have a comment?
May I ask, Mr. Arnold, will you review Resolution 1525 and let council know your legal opinion of Mr. Skate's question as to if any member of that committee has authority? I know ultimately the mayor has the authority, but does any member of that committee of which he is a member have authority of that committee? Could you provide that to council? Thank you, sir.
I don't think that the resolution speaks to that at all.
Okay.
You have a comment?
Yeah. May I make a comment?
Yes.
Mr. Scaife, I can guarantee you every member sitting up here is in support of the community center. And, you know, we're going to have to do what we need to do to get it done. It is overdue and it's not going to be 18 or more, 19 years. I know I'm going to do my part to make sure it's done and the integrity of it is kept. You know, it's been way too long. And if I may speak on everybody's behalf, I think everybody on this council is in support of it. So we will work, we will do what we need to do to make sure it becomes, it's given back to the people. So
That was not against the council, it was against the person.
And
I just want to let you know, we are in support. This is where we, thank you.
I just want to make sure that Mr. Arnold had finished what he was saying.
I've looked at that ordinance. I don't think it speaks at all to who's in charge of the commission, who should be calling meetings. Might be helpful to add that. Unless I'm unaware of some other.
Could you give that in a written response, just so that we'll have it on record? And then provide a copy to the clerk's office? Thank you.
And then Mr. President,
Okay, Mr. Mason.
that shouldn't happen until they've organized and chose officers as to who's gonna be the chairperson or
Mhm.
the vice chairperson, you know, the not executive body of the organization, but official office. You know, once they organize, then they'll have somebody who can call the shots. But for the mayor to come in and remove people from the board because he didn't felt like they were done right when this person actually voted for the person out of his community to be on that board was totally wrong.
Thanks.
Mr. Bilbrey.
Christopher Bilbrey. First of all, the mic's not working again, so people's not being able to hear. People are speaking here, if not speaking loud enough. I could donate a mic to the city if we need or something, but this has to start.
Please do.
Second of all, the problem with what you said, Councilor Selvey, is the mayor doesn't sit up there. So when you speak to the people up there, I mean, maybe you speak for them or they don't or whatever, they're capable of speaking or not speaking, but you don't speak for the mayor. And the problem is, it's the mayor is the one that's having the issue here with that. So I just wanted to bring that up. Moving on, yet again, since last time we were here, there was an issue that I attempted to email and get communication from the sponsoring council member, Mr. Basham. And again, Mr. Basham, you refused to email or respond back to me. I don't understand what happens or what you guys, I don't know. Hopefully we can beat Mr. Basham. Maybe Mr. Skate can set his seat next time, something like that. I don't know. But when you guys are sponsoring council people, when you guys either write the ordinance or sponsor the ordinance, if you can't to people who have questions, don't sponsor the ordinance. If you're not going to communicate with the public, it's gross that you continue to take the paycheck that the city gives you. Do you have an answer for that?
This is public comment
Yes, sir,
as,
it is. And and listen, and I'm asking you for your comment about this question. I'm tired of this.
I withdrew the ordinance.
Okay, so what was the issue with responding to an email? Why have you not been able to respond to an email for 4 years now? However long you've been up there. Why can you not, are you incapable of emailing? Who are you looking to? I'm talking to you. You're an elected official.
He does not have to.
You have 3 minutes. I can badger him all I want.
That's true, you can, but I'm saying he does not have to answer.
So he doesn't have to answer, but it's ignorant that he doesn't.
The ordinance has been withdrawn until further clarified.
I'm asking you why you can't email. What's wrong with your ability to answer to constituents?
I had many conversations with people about this ordinance.
Why could you not email me, sir? Can you explain? You know, I wasn't this angry the 500 other times I've been asking you. Do your damn job or step down.
Please watch your language, sir.
Excuse me. I'm just fine. All right, the crisis center. We got an issue with the crisis center. Can you guys look into that and see what's going on? Can you guys see what's going on with that?
Yes.
Start doing your damn job, Dale, or step down. It's gross.
Thanks for the back, buddy.
Thank you.
That's it for public comments.
More public comment.
No more. That's it. Thank you.
Entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second that. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a second.
I second it.